Now, lastly, I'd like to highlight Amendment number 821. I introduced and worked with the committee to include this in the bill, and I want to thank Senator Donnelly for co-sponsoring my amendment. On January 27, the President issued a memorandum that emphasized the need for a, quote, modern, robust, flexible, resilient, ready, and appropriately tailored nuclear deterrent. This memorandum reiterated the long-standing and bipartisan consensus that deterring a nuclear attack on our country and our allies depends on our ability to maintain a strong nuclear deterrent. Our nuclear deterrent includes three legs, also referred to as the nuclear triad, consisting of submarine-launched ballistic missiles, land-based intercontinental ballistic missiles, and long-range bomber aircraft. Now, each of these legs offers an important and complementary capability, making clear to any potential aggressor that a nuclear attack on the United States would be suicidal, and thereby deterring such an attack in the first place. Perhaps that's why Secretary of Defense Mattis, referring to the deterrence of potential aggressors, said just last week, quote, "If I want to send the most compelling message, I've been persuaded that the triad is the right way to go." Now, the challenge is that in just the next 2 decades, essentially all of our nation's nuclear delivery systems and all of our nuclear weapons will need to be refurbished or replaced. According to a February 2017 study by the Nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, that could cost a total of $400 billion over the next decade. Now, that's an enormous cost during a period when our Department of Defense has many other modernization bills coming due. Consequently, we must identify opportunities to minimize costs while not sacrificing capability. So, consistent with that fact, on January 31, Secretary Mattis issued a memorandum calling for a, quote, ambitious reform agenda, which will include horizontal integration across DoD components to improve efficiency and take advantage of economies of scale. Consistent with that memorandum, in the memorandum of the President, my amendment would require the Office of the Secretary of Defense, working with our Navy and our Air Force, to submit a report to Congress on the potential to achieve more value. That is, enhance nuclear deterrence at a lower cost by integrating elements of acquisition programs related to the modernization and sustainment of the nuclear triad. If we can improve efficiency in program management, cost, and schedule by increasing integration, co-location, and commonality between the strategic deterrent programs of the Navy and the Air Force, and their associated systems, technologies, and engineering processes, then we should do so. Back home in Indiana, the skilled workers at Naval Surface Warfare Center, Crane, have supported the Navy Strategic Systems Program for more than 60 years. Crane is the largest DoD supplier to the Strategic Systems Program. Crane provides the Navy's only organic, high-reliability radiation hardening capability. Crane also serves as a leader in trusted microelectronics. But what's less well known is that Crane provides important support to the Air Force's ICBM ground-based strategic deterrent program. More importantly, there's good reason to believe that Crane can dramatically increase its level of support to the Air Force's strategic programs. That's the kind of joint collaboration between the Air Force and the Navy that my amendment envisions. By breaking down stovepipe barriers between our military services, by eliminating unnecessary duplication, and by looking for common sense opportunities for joint cooperation, we can keep our country safe and save money in the process. That's not only a win for Crane, it's a win for the Navy. It's a win for the Air Force. It's a win for taxpayers. and it's a win for the safety and security of every American. That's why I look forward to working with the leadership and the staff of the Armed Services Committees to include this provision in the final bill.